So today's class we will start with CSS selector. So selectors is for what we call reducing the code. Whatever the CSS properties you are repeating multiple times. So instead of repeating multiple times, we will go for selectors. Okay, the selectors will provide us reusability facility. What is mean by reusability? It is one of the advantage of CSS. What is mean by reusability, guys? Reusable means, what is mean by reusability?
Using many times.
Very good. So we will write one property only one time, and if the properties want to repeat for multiple times, then we go for the selector types. And the selector, we have 5 types of selectors. Okay, so first one is element selector, and next one is ID selector, and the next one is class selector, and next one is universal selector, and next one is group selector. Under class selector we have 2 types again. First one is element class. First one is element class, and the second one is generic class. Okay, we will learn these 2 types while we learning this class. Okay, so we will start off learning how which provides a reusability facility in our HTML. Okay, using CSS. Now for that I will go for one basic program, and we will start off learning this all one after other. See, first I will go for our folder, so which contain many things. I will remove this all. First I am creating one file. This is my basic HTML. I will write it here. So every HTML contain 3 basic stacks. HTML, which contain body tag, and body has close, and one more thing before this, head tag, and head has close. So this is basic tag we have been writing from the beginning of our HTML. Now we will start off writing. First we will write what is this, okay, basic text. And first we will save this program. Save as selectors.html, and all files. I have saved this program. Now we will check what is the response of this code. So nothing I have written in between body tag, so nothing will print. See, I will go for something I will write. So SArt University, and I have saved this one. I will see the response. It has printed like this. Now what is my job? We will learn these all one after other. See, among this you know already element selector. Again I will tell you how to write this element selector. Okay, see here my aim of this text is, I want to display this text SR University in large in size, means large in size, and its color want to be changed to red color, and its background should be green color. So what are my requirements? Okay, text size is increase, and next one is color of the text is red color. Color of the text is red color, and its a background color I want to change it to green color. These all are my requirements. Can we write these properties to my text? Can I write or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Can you tell how can I write these all? See, I will open this one. So for which tag I need to write? For which data I want to write? For SR University. So I need to give. So among that, what is your first requirement? This text want to be print in large in size. So how do you change this text general size to large size? Hello? How do you increase its size? All of you open your videos.
H1
All of you open your videos.
video, sir.
Are you listening my class? Okay, very good. 4007. Right.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So how can I change this size? Which tag is using for increasing the size of this text? Hello guys.
We can use hashtags.
H1 tag. Very good. So I have changed this one to H1 and I will close this one using H1. So H1 tag, what it does, it will increase the size of your text. Next, we will see whether it has changed or not. Yes, size has changed. Next, what is my next job? I want to change its color to red color. So then how you want to implement this one? By using CSS. So I will go for inline. I will go for inline and I want to write the property. So which tag I need to use to write inline CSS?
Style.
Very good. Style tag. And I need to assign the values in between open and close tags. So what is my first aim from this? I want to change its color to red color. So which property I use to change the color?
BGM.
I want to change the color of this text.
Property.
What is the property?
Color.
Very good, color property. And which color I want to assign? Red color. So first property has completed. Next, I want to change its background color to green color. Then how can I change?
Semicolon and
Semicolon, very good.
background color.
Background color is
Green.
green. So I have given like this. This is the way this color property has applied. Next, I have some text here. Okay, something text is presented here. Again, I want to display this SR University. I want to display this SR University at here with the same properties. Same properties. Then what I do? Again, I use H1 tag and its style is color as red and background color
Green.
Background color green. I have to give this way and I will close this one H1 tag. Right. So what happens? Second time I have written. So like that, I want to write the same property multiple times. Okay. So around 10 times it has. So 10 times same property. Are you repeating or not? Are you repeating multiple times or not?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
For which element? For H1 element, you are writing this property multiple times. So is it correct way? At the time, what happens? Repetition is increasing or not?
Yes, sir.
So size of your code also increases. HTML code also increases. So to overcome that, already I said this example using inline also internal. But that
Internal.
internal we have used one of the selector, that is the element selector. Now I will tell you element selector. See here, this H1 is one of the element or not? So what is element? What is element? Combination of starting tag, ending tag, and the text and related attributes. So this is said to be an element. So here from this, which element is having common properties?
H1.
H1 is the element. For this element, I will write a selector. Okay, this selector is said to be element selector because I am writing properties for L1. So how do I write selector? So selector name and open flower bracket and close this one, and in between I will write the common properties. Okay, so where do I write this one? These things you can write either in internal or external. You can write any place. So what is internal? Internal CSS and external CSS. I already said how to use these two. Internal, where do we write? What is inline? In head section. Very good. External is nothing but it is a separate file. We will save that with the CSS. And how can I import this one, the CSS to other HTML file? Which tag we used? Link tag. Okay, so using this link, we have connected this external CSS file to your HTML program. Okay, these things we have learned. So now what is our job? I want to write element selector. For which element? H1 element. So we will see how to write this one. So H1 syntax. First I will write the syntax. So selector name. So which selector right now it is? Element selector name. Next open bracket and close bracket. And here I will write property, next value. Next property, next value. So property values like that you write. So if you write like that, so here you need not to repeat the same property multiple times. Just you use H1. Where you use H1, that same property will assign. Okay, let us check whether it applies or not. So instead of writing this many times, I will use only twice. And let us observe whether it will apply for the multiple elements or not. So I will use these three and remaining I am removing. So 3 times I have written H1 tag. So instead of writing 3 times, I will go for internal. So how do I write internal style sheet? Which tag I need to use?
Style tag.
Very good. Style tag. And in between style tag, for which element you want to write? H1 element or not? Okay. So what is the first requirement? I need to write element name, element selector name. So our element is H1 element, and H1 element. And what are our properties? Style, color as red, and background color as green. So how many times I have written it here? So one element I have declared and I have written properties at here. Now I will remove this one. I will remove this one. So here, am I writing these properties? I am not writing these properties for this H1 tag. But what is the common property for this H1? Color as red and background color is green. Let us check whether it will apply or not. So 3 times it applies. You may get, sir, it may be the old code. So for that, I will change its color. So green to blue. Green to blue. Now we will check whether it will apply or not. Yes, it has changed or not.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So how many times you have used these properties? How
Only
many
one
times
time.
you have written?
Only one time.
One time you have written, but applied to
3 times.
3 times. Is it apply only 3 times?
Multiple times, sir.
Very good. It will apply multiple times. So this is said to be element selector. This is said to be element selector. Already we learned this element selector in previous days. So is it reduce one advantage? Is it give one advantage or not? Reusability.
Yes, sir.
Reusability is one of the advantage. So this is the way we need to write element selector. So we will see one example here. This is the example we have completed. Next, we will go for another one, class selector. I will tell you class selector. Next, we will jump to ID selector. Class selector. See here, one thing you understand it here. One more thing. Here, H1 tag. See, I will tell you where do we use this class selector. Basically, we have 2 types of class selectors. We have 2 types of class selector, and the first one is element class, and the next one is generic class. How do we write these classes? So element selector class, we need to write the syntax. I am writing syntax element name followed by name of the class, followed by dot, next name of the class, and followed by I have to write the properties. So same thing, this is for improving the reusability. And the generic selector is nothing but just you use add dot, no need to write any element, next name of the class and followed by the properties. We have to write it here. Okay, these are the 2 types. We will see the advantage of these 2 by comparing with some example. See students, here I want to write my properties. Understand, see its color. For example, style, this color is red, and the background color is green. These things we have seen. And style color is red and the background color is green. Same thing I am repeating like previous way, but from this we will add one more requirement. Right here, this is the way you have. From this, what is another one? Margins. I will go for margin, not margin. See color. What do you know? Another properties to you? Style, background. Yes. Did you learn font attributes? Yes, you learn font attribute. Now I will change this H1 to P. Paragraph. For paragraph, it is good. You understand well, because H1 is having by default properties, but the paragraph does not have. So just I will change this one to paragraph. Now these are the requirements. From this requirement, I have one difference, that is this first paragraph required. So in this case, what you do actually? So will you go for element selector or not? Common property for multiple elements, you go for element selector. But when you go for this, only we have one difference. That is, its a font size is 100 pixel. Its a font size is 100 pixel, and remaining font sizes are somewhat different. Font size is 50 pixel for this one, and for this element font size is 50. See, so in this case, can I go for what is this element selector?
No, sir.
No. See here, I have written paragraph and the style paragraph. This color is red, and background, your background color is
Green.
so I can write like this. But if I change this to font size as 100 pixel, then which property will apply? This first one will apply. If I change it to 50 pixel, this one will apply. But what is my requirement? Around 75% of these properties are same. Only one item is different. Did you observe this one or not? For this, did you observe this thing? For the first two lines, what is the font size?
100 pixel.
100 pixel. For next to 50 pixel.
50.
But what about remaining properties?
Same.
Same. So in such cases, what I do? So if I write like this, here I will change this one. Okay. See, very little different, but plays a different role. Greater than. Like that I have written. So these first two lines we are expecting 100 pixel size, and these two are expecting 50 pixel size. Okay, so if I write 50, then what happens? All these will be applied with 50. If I write 100, these four lines will apply with 100. Then how could I solve this problem? So by using classes. So I will add class to this one. Okay, so how can I add this class? Now I will go for element class. Element class for this element, for this P element, I need to add another class. See, let us see how do I write. So paragraph tag, and this is big. Just big is one class name. And next one paragraph. And now you are expecting 50 pixel means I consider this class name as small. Okay, this is belonging to small class, this is belonging to big class. So here same color is red, and the background color as green. For this class, which font I need to give? Font size
100.
Font size as
100.
100 pixel, and this small, for small
50.
font size as 50 pixel. Okay, so now I have changed this one. I have changed this one and I have used this one. Let us see which property will apply for this one. See, just I have added classes, but I did not apply for these lines. So then see what is the problem we get. How do we solve? It is not the problem. We did not write the actual code. So is it apply? Did I copy this one? Where is my code? Yes. Is it applied any property?
No.
No. So this small property does not apply, big property does not apply. Then how can I apply these classes to this one? See, for these first two lines here, now I will introduce one more attribute for elements, one more attributes for element. So for these two lines, which property you are expecting, this first one or second one?
Second one, sir.
For these first two lines,
First one, sir.
first two lines, these two 100 pixel.
First one.
Okay, so for this element I will adding a class. Which class? Big class. Okay, and this one is also expecting big class. Okay, so how can I assign class to this one? So this is the way you need to apply. Now we see. So for these first two lines, you will it will display color as red, background color as green with a 100 pixel size because I have used this class. Okay, see this one. So is it applied?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Next, for this one, what I will do? Class. What is this? Which class I need to assign?
Small.
Small. So what about this one? Class small. So is it applied?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
So did you understand the role of classes? Why do we go for this class? So that element almost all having the same properties, only one difference it has. Only one difference it has. In such cases, you need to differentiate the two with separate classes. Separate classes, and we will apply the class name to the element where you require. So you can reduce this one also with a different way. So I will tell you how it will. Okay, so this is one approach, and I will tell you next one in future. So right now, is it clear? Or can I tell one more example? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so for this element,
Clear,
this
sir.
one as applied. See, I want to ask you one question here. Here I have used H1 tag, or not H1, some paragraph or okay, H1 tag I am using, or otherwise P class. H1 I am using. So hello I am writing, and H1 I have used close. For this one, I am giving class as small. Can you tell what will happen? Can you tell what will happen? So is it displayed with 50 pixel size or 100 pixel size?
No,
50
it does
pixel.
not. It does
Huh?
not print.
Does not apply.
Does not
Why?
print
Why?
because the
H1 tag is
Yes, this is H1 tag, but for which element this small class is present?
only for paragraph.
Only for paragraph. If you write small, then these properties will apply. Otherwise, it won't apply. Okay? Is it clear? Is it
Yes,
clear
sir.
or not? Yes. Here, from this, one more example will start. So here, I want to write one class. I want to
Excuse me,
write
sir.
one. Hello?
Sir, if you have three elements, sir, then what we then what we had to use, sir?
3 elements means?
If you have like a big and small, another also is there.
Yes. Now I will introduce that one only.
Okay, sir.
See here, I want to write one class. That class want to apply for multiple elements. So this class small and big class can apply for only paragraph element. but I am not expecting like that. I want to write one class, that class want to apply for any element. Okay, then we have to go for generic classes. Is it clear? So previously you have written the small and big classes, but which are applied for only paragraph. Yes or no? Which are applied for only paragraph. If I try to use this class for another element, then it does not apply. See, I did not show you this response. So is it applied? Any property has applied? Property
Yes, sir.
does not apply.
No, sir.
Does not apply. Now what my aim? I want to write one class. Okay. So I want a class. That class properties need to apply for different type of element. Different type of element. Then we go for generic class. Okay, how do we write generic class? So just we do not write any element directly. You need to put dot followed by class name, followed by class name. Okay, and this class can be applied for paragraph. This class can be applied for h1 tag. This class can be applied for any item. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I will introduce one more class at here. This is somewhat different. So this is, I am writing this class name as all. All means it will apply for every element. It will apply for every element. So I am using this color as some any color. So tell me any hexadecimal number. F9 10 AB. Okay, is it valid color or not? Is it valid color or not? Do you know this color? Do you know this color? Hello guys, do you know this color?
No, sir.
We don't know. Just I have written the color code. Okay, just we will see how it will apply. What is this means? What is this means? I want to change this color to this color code. Let us see this one. So I will remove this all. Now I will go for body tag. Here I am using multiple elements. So first paragraph element SR university paragraph, and this is H1 tag. H1 tag is SR university and H1 as close, and H2 tag is SR university. Here how many elements we have? 3. All are same elements, different elements.
Different element.
Different element. So I am applying class as all. Class as all. Next, class as all. Class as all. So how many classes you have written? One class. Is it generic class or element class? This is generic class. When it is generic class, it will apply for any element. Let us check whether this color has changed to the specified color code or not. So is it applied? All are displayed with same color or different colors?
Same color.
Same color.
Same color. Means, is this class applied for this all elements or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, this is said to be generic class. Next up, we will go for another one. So element selector is clear, class selector is clear. Next we will go for group selector. See, group selector is one more thing. Here I have multiple elements. See, I will remove this one. This one. See, here I have one H1 element and a H2 element and a H3 element. So I have 3 elements. So these 3 are 3 different elements. These all are printing, hi, how are you? Okay.
Sir,
So common text.
sir,
Uh,
sir, in last case, P dot big you printed, no, sir.
which one?
In last case, we can use P dot any name like
Yes.
okay, sir.
You can give any name, no small, big. You can write your name also. Okay. So P dot some Raju,
Sir,
Ramesh.
numbers. Can we give numbers, sir, there? P dot
No,
1.
no. Here you should follow identifier rules. It must start with a number. It should start with character and followed by any number you can write.
Okay, sir.
Okay. A1, A2, A3, A4 like that you write. And don't use under hyphens. So here. Now, how many elements I have? I have 3 elements. These 3 are 3 different elements. Okay. These 3 elements are having common property. So this style is color is red and the same thing it has. So all are having same properties or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So then how do I write actually? See, for example, if it is content 3 times, everything content 3 times. So this is first time and this is second time. This is third time. So how many times you are writing color as red for H1 element?
3.
3
3
times.
times.
This is first time, this is second time, and this is third. Right? 3 times you are writing. Is it necessary to write 3 times? No. I will go for H1 element and color as red. So in this case, you need not to write this one. You need not to write this one. And here also no need. And here also no need. These 3 places I did not write. So even it displays with H1 as a red color. Next here also I want to remove this one. Here also I am removing this one. This all are removing. So next time I won't write these all properties. So instead of writing multiple times, just I will use H1 as color, H2 color red, and H3 this is also color as red. See here we have 3 elements, but these 3 elements is having common properties. So is it providing any reusability type? So common property repeating, but for multiple elements. Then how can I reduce this one? Okay. So to reduce this one, we have another property that is group selector. So how do I write group selector? So element 1, the syntax for this one is element 1, element 2, element 3. Wait. So element 1, comma element 2, comma, element 3. And what are the common properties has for this one? You write that properties, property and value. So can you tell how can I reduce this one?
H1
Okay.
comma H2 comma H3.
Very good. So H1 comma H2 comma H3 and the color as red. So I will change this color to green to know whether it has applied or not. So I will remove this all. Control S, it has saved. We'll check whether it will apply or not. Is it applied?
Yes, sir.
It has changed to green color. So this is the way you need to write group selector. So how many selectors we have completed? Element selector, class selector, group selector. Under class selector, we learn two types. One is a generic selector, a generic class, and next one is the element class. Now we will go for another type, that is ID selector. See ID select, and how did you write class? How did you write class? What is the prefix you have written? For class, which prefix you have written?
Dot.
Class dot. Okay, if you want to write ID selector, so we will go for new syntax, that is hash followed by ID name, and you need to enclose the properties at here. Okay, so when you write ID, this property can, if you want to apply this ID for only one element, okay, then you need to go for ID. See, very simple example. In your class, I want to specify you are all belonging to CSE E section. Okay, so I will maintain your data. And I have Excel sheet like this. Understand this one properly. So you are all belonging to E section students. So and I know that these all are people belonging to E section. In this case, so name, roll number, and contact number, parent contact I will take. Along with that, do I need to take section at here, and do I need to write E section for every person? So name as Raju, Ramu, Ramya, Ramesh, like that I have multiple students. Do I write this column for every student? Hello?
No, sir.
No, sir.
So this is the class level. Okay. But when I go for rule number, is this rule number is unique for every person or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, this is ID type. This is identified for particular element. This is class. Class is nothing but all people having same property. So I won't go for this one. Just the top of this one, I will write class name as E section. Okay. So similarly, if the group of element is having common properties, then you go for class type. If only one element need one property, then you need to go for ID. Okay, so you need to use this ID only once in your program, in your code. Even you write it twice, which applies, but when you go for future programming like JavaScript kind, so which rise some problems. Okay, I will tell you how does that problems rise. First, I will write this ID selector, then I will go for this one. So, ID. So, if I want to write ID selector, I need to use hash notation to prefix of this ID name, followed by so ID is nothing but, for example, A501. A501 is one ID, and this color want to be changed to red. This color want to be changed to red. Here, I want to use one element, that is paragraph element, and this is paragraph element. And one more thing, this ID can apply for any element, like a generic class. This ID can be applied for any element like generic class, but you have to use this ID only once in your program. Okay, so here ID, here when you see, if you want to assign class to your element, which attribute you have taken? Class attribute or not? Class attribute and followed by class name you have given. But right now I need to give ID. So ID equal to, what is this ID? What is the ID name? What is the ID name?
A501.
Right. So I will give A501 ID, and I will write something. So hi, how are you? So let us check whether it will applies or not. Yes, it has changed to this one. So you may ask one question. See here, second time, third time, fourth time. Okay, 4 elements, and these all elements belonging to different category. H1, and this is H2, and it is H3. H3, and it is H2. This is H1. H1. Okay, and I have written. So is this property applied for these 4 elements or not? Hello, is it applied for these 4 elements or not?
Sir. Yes,
It
sir.
has,
Yes,
it
sir.
has applied. But what is the difference between generic class and this one? So if you write generic class, you can use it for any item, but ID should be right in the program only once. Okay, you should not use this one, because in future we will write JavaScript programming. Not only JavaScript or servlets like that, we will write some programs. So these programs, JavaScript or servlet program, okay, collecting the data from HTML component. So HTML, see, if you want to get a Gmail account, then what you do? You request for Gmail page or not? You request for Gmail page, and you can see sign up information at here. Okay, so next, when you submit it here, so this data will move from here to here, and it will capture the data. So when it is capturing, the data is collecting with the help of IDs. How it is collecting? How this information, this server side program will collect by using these IDs. Okay, if it is collected with IDs, so this multiple elements is having common ID. So which element data it will take? So this will get one confusion. This will get confused. So to overcome this confuse, just you need to apply these IDs for only one element. You should not use this for multiple elements. Even you write for multiple elements, then it will get an error. Okay, so I will tell you one more example to this one. Here you have rule numbers. You have rule numbers. See, wait guys. See, every student is having your own rule number. So this is A section, this is A section, this is B section, this is C section. Okay, so every student is having 500 and 500, this room 500, this room 500 element. So belonging to A section, belonging to B section, belonging to C section, and these all belonging to SR University. SR University. And here principal is standing at here and asked your faculties to call 500 roll number student. So how many students will come at here? How many students will come? Hello guys.
3.
Can you hear me?
3, sir.
3,
So this is server. This is server. So server is requested to bring 500 rule numbers. So from this location 500 will come. From this place 500 will come. From this place 500 will come. So at this location, so our higher authority or our principal can get multiple records or not? Multiple persons or not?
Yes, sir.
Similarly, because this ID is common, this ID is common for multiple elements. So if you give the same ID, you will get multiple records at the server side. Similarly, for this multiple elements, I am giving common ID, and I have sent to server side. Then how many elements will get with these IDs? 4 elements will get. So is the server will get confused or not? Server
Yes,
will
sir.
get confused or not? So that is the reason why you need to use these IDs for only one element, because in future we will write server side programs. When you write server side program, when the data want to be captured, it will get what we call ambiguity problem. Ambiguity means either confusion or inconsistency. Inconsistency means data may not fetch properly. So that is the reason why you need to apply this class ID element only for one element. If you write for multiple, then at the end you will get problem. But here, if I give these multiple values for individual class and I want to call 500, only one student will come, multiple student will come. So
One
for this
student.
class level, only one element can have unique. But from this entire group should not repeat multiple IDs. So that is the reason why better to use this IDs selector only for one element. So this concept we will learn in the 5th unit. Okay, while we learning JavaScript, again I will repeat this concept. Okay, so even you write for multiple elements, this will apply, but as a good programmer, you should not repeat this ID for multiple elements. Next one, universal selector. Universal, what is mean by universal? Universal means for one people or for all the peoples?
All.
For all, sir.
Yes, if you want to apply any property for your entire web page, not for web application, for your entire web page, then you need to go for universal selector. Okay, see, I will tell you one simple example. I want to write one page, web page. So for this web page, entire page is having common borders or different borders for each element. See, you are writing some notes or assignment in A4 sheet. Okay, for each paragraph, will you give separate margins? So in one page contain multiple paragraphs. Okay, first paragraph, second paragraph, third paragraph. Will you give multiple margins for that one or common margin for entire page?
Common margin for entire page.
Common margin for entire page. So in such cases, this is said to be, we will convert this generic these what we call properties to universal properties. If you write it as a universal property, then it will be applied for every element in your web page. See, we will see how do we apply. So universal selectors we need to write using hash notation, using hashtag notation, and in between you need to write the properties. Okay. So basically in universal selectors we will write margins. Okay, margins. Margins already I said how to write margin. So margins, how many properties you learn? Margin properties. How many margin properties? 4 types, 5 types. Margin, margin top, margin left, margin bottom, margin right. Okay, so margin. So here I am giving 50 pixel. 50 pixel. So, and you give this data, some data you write it here. See, I am writing this one and we'll check. This universal properties will apply. So this is the way 50 pixel, 50 pixel, 50 pixel will apply. Okay. And if you want to see whether it is applied or not properly, I will do multiple elements. So this is paragraph, and H1 tag and H1 tag. Okay. So this is next. This is SR University. See, I am writing universal property as border. So I did not tell border style equal to solid. Next class we will learn these things. So border style as solid. See, for every element this will apply. So for entire page it has applied. Here for this hi, how are you applied. For SR University applied. For every element, is it applying or not? So did you write for this P element? This border style has solid. Did you write border for this paragraph? Hello. Okay, so we did not write this border style as solid for paragraph, and we did not write border style as solid for H1 element, and you did not write border for this body. But when you write universal selector as star, this property will apply for every element in your HTML code. So here I have 3 elements: H1 element, paragraph element, and body element. For this entire body, this property has applied. For this individual element also, this property will apply. So if you want to apply any property for every element, then you need to go for universal selector. So how do we write universal selector? By using hashtag notation. So these all will place an important role in CSS. First one is element selector. Next one is ID, class, universal, group selector. So when do we go for element selector? When do we use element selector? One, 2, 8, 7.
Yes, sir.
When do we go for element selector?
Sir, to select a but to make a particular thing like design.
Element selector. So one element,
Sir, to
multiple.
style a particular content we want.
Okay, if any property want to apply multiple times for common element, we go for element selector. Next, class selector. We have two types, element class, generic class. Element class means for one element, if it contains slightly difference, then you need to introduce classes for element, and that can be used multiple times. Next, universal selector. If you write any universal selector, it will be applied for every element in your HTML code. Group selector. When do we go for group selector?
For different elements.
Yes, different elements is having common properties. Then we go for group selector. And ID selector.
Unique property.
We can give this ID selector only for one element. Only for one element. Then these things we need to use in our coming classes. So ID selector, universal selector, and group selector. And background properties we have seen in previous class. Color and font size, font family. Next, margins has completed. And one more thing, we need to learn borders. So what is border and how do we write borders? See, here first I will tell you one example. See, this is my A4 sheet page. This is my A4 sheet. Okay, so I want to write material. I want to write material or any assignment I want to write. So when you take any A4 sheet, what do you do immediately? You will put margins to this one. Okay, so this is the way you draw margins. So already you know how to give margins to your web pages. How do we give margins? By using margin property, and we have 5 types of margins: margin and margin left and margin right, margin top and margin bottom. These 4 types we have. Next, these margins you can see. Next, after margins, then what you do, you need to go for padding. So first we have border. Okay, see, first we go for borders, next we go for padding. So borders, how do I give border? So here next, the drawing line, some of the people manually they won't draw any border, but they use some margins. But right now I want border. So to give the border to your HTML doc, we have to go for borders. So how many types of borders we have and how to increase the border, and we are expecting curved borders. These all things we need to learn. After that we will go for padding. So padding is nothing but the space between your border and the text. Okay, so first let us learn border and next we go for paddings. So borders, we have different types of borders. So border contain 4 properties. One is border style, and next one is border color, next one is border width, and next one is border radius. See these borders, we have different types of border styles. So one is solid border, and next one is dashed border, and next one is dotted border, next groove border. So we have different types. We'll show you that list. So these are the different types of borders. So first one, none border is nothing but which is the default value, which does not print anything, and hidden border will apply, but we are unable to see. Dotted border means you can see dots for your entire web page, and dashed border means you can see these dashed lines, and solid means you can see the line without any cut. Double border means 2 borders will apply for your web page. Groove is nothing but this is similar to the solid only, but light line you can see. These all we will see one after other. So for that I need some data. So see, I am copying this data and I will save in between body tag. We'll see the output at here. See, this is our web page, and I want to remove the borders to this one. So this is my text. So next, already we know I have to give the margin to my web page. So how do I give? So for this entire web page I want to give. So I will go for universal selector and margin is 50 pixel margin I am giving. So let us check whether it applies or not. Yes, margin has applied. Now what is my job for this entire web page? For this entire web page I need to set border or nothing but for this paragraph I want to assign border. So how can I assign border? So we will go for this border attributes. So first one is border style. So we have different types of border style. So for this entire body I want to give the style. For this entire body I want to give the style. So for border, for body I will write border style, none, which does not display anything, and another one is solid. We will see this solid. How does it print? We will see. So you can see solid line. Solid means one line will display, and next one is dotted line. So dotted means, see, in place of this solid line you can find all the dots. So I will change this style to dotted. I will change it to dotted and we'll see how it will print. So which will change to? Can you find this? Can you see these all changes?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So it has changed to dot. And I want to change this dotted line to dashed line. And can you see dashes in place of dots?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Next, one more thing, solid, just now I have shown. Now we will go for double. So in place of this dots you can find double lines. double solid lines, DO double. So can you find double line?
Yes,
Can you
sir.
see this double line?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Next, grow ridge. So grow, this is also look like this solid only, but it should display with the light color. So here can you see? So previously when I write, what is this?
Solid.
Solid, it displays with thick black color. Now it has displayed with some lighter black color. Next one is ridge. So this is look like a third dimension, 3-dimension ridge. Now we will see its output. So can you see this one? See, I will increase this size. So this is the way. Here you can see thick border followed by one small color dot you can find. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we will change it to this insert 3D insert border. Insetter. See, INSET. Insert. This is also look like a solid border, but you can find it. See, when you observe this look like here. I will increase this size. Border width 10 pixel. See, here can you see this like a third dimension?
Yes, sir.
Yes. See at one corner you can see black color, and you can see here another corner you can see white color. Okay. Next, inset means inside you have this property. Next we have outset. Outset means you can find this same, this will be interchanged. This white color you can see this side, and this black color you can see this side. Outset, and we'll see the output. So is this both are interchanged or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is inset. If you want, if you are expecting this top and left corner with these thick lines, then you go for inset. If you are expecting for this right side and bottom side, you go for outset. Okay, but among these all, most of the times we use either solid or dashed. Either dashed or solid. Most of the cases you see only solid. Okay, so in future we will learn with solid only, but if you required you can go for these different types of border styles. Okay, so border style is clear. Border style. Next,
Yes,
I
sir.
want to change the color. So by default, which color it has displayed? See, you go for general thing as solid. What
Black,
is the
sir.
default? What is the default color of this border? Black color. So I will zoom out this one. Yes, by default it has displayed with black color. Now I want to change this color to red color. Okay, so for that we have another property, that is border color. Border color equal to red. Again, how many ways you can give the color? You can give color code, and you can give color name. Next, you can give RGB color with the 3 values. So let us see its output. So is it changed color to, is it changed to red or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Next up, you can give another color by using number. So FF00 AA. This is one color. I don't know how it displays. Yes, this is the another color. So is it applied or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Next, border color, border style, and next one is border width. So this border width, so to increase the thickness of this border, right now it is default is one line, but if I want to increase the width of this border, then you need to go for border width. So you can give border width as what is this, 10 pixel. You can give in pixels or percentage, but better is pixel. So is this thickness has increased or not?
Increased, sir.
Thickness has increased. Now next one is, this all borders are edged borders or curved borders. Here you can find edge or curve. Edge, but I am not expecting edge. I want curve. So to give curve to your border, okay, so we need one more property, that is border radius. Border radius. So this border radius, again the way how you have assigned margins values, that same way will be continued. So margin with 30 pixel. Margin with 30 pixel. I will show you how it will apply. See here, this is my margin. This is my margin. Initially it has displayed with edge. So 30 pixel means these four sides 30 will applies. These four sides 30 will apply, and this 30 pixel will take from here to here 30 pixel. From this y direction also, from here to here 30 pixel. In between one curve will be displayed. Is it clear how this 30 will apply? This x dimension, it will take 30 pixel. In y dimension, it will take 30 pixel. And in between these two, one curve will display. Okay, so this will be applied for four sides. So let us check whether it will apply or not. What happened? 30 is very small. I will give 50 pixel, and I have saved this one. So did you see this curve?
Yes,
Hello,
sir.
can you see the curve?
Yes. Yes, sir.
For example, if I increase this 50 to 100, what happened? So you can see the curves, but what is the problem you are getting?
Text is
Yes, text and borders are overlapping. Text and borders are overlapping. Is this one problem or not? If you put any borders like that, will you continue from this point? No, I will start from this position. Yes or no? Some other place which we should not get overlapping with the border and text. So for these cases, new concept will introduce, that is the padding. What is that? Padding. What is mean by padding? And one more thing, guys, here I have given for four sides at a time, but I am expecting only one side border. Okay, three side sharpness and one side curved. So this side, this side, this side, and I am expecting curved only one side. Okay, this side I am expecting the curve, and the remaining all sides should be same. So for this, we will go for another properties that are border hyphen, hyphen, and you have to give value. So here this first hyphen and second hyphen, these values are top or left, top or bottom, or left, right. Okay, these values you need to fill in between these two places. See, for example, this side I am expecting, this side I am expecting. So what is the side? Is it top side, bottom side? Is it top side, bottom side? Hello guys. So this is border, hyphen, top side, hyphen, which side? Right or left?
Right.
Right side. So right. If you give like this, then what happens? This only part will be selected and you can give the values. So I will give 50 pixel. Then we'll check whether it will apply or not for this border or not, for this side or not. So border, top, right, and what we are expecting, radius. Top right radius, we'll see whether it applies only one side or not. Is it applied? Is it applied one side or not? Okay. Next we will go for this side, this left side. Can you tell me if I want to get this side? So which property it will help us? If I want to write this side, what is the property?
Bottom left. Bottom left.
Border, bottom, left, radius. So border, so I will bottom, left, radius to 100 pixel. So x-axis 100 pixel will take, y-axis 100 pixel will take. So did you get?
Yes.
So both sides it has applied based on our requirement. This is border, top, right, radius. This is border, bottom, right, radius. So 4 sides will apply. If you want to give only one side manually, you can give like this. And one more. What is this here? When you introduce this one, you are getting overlapping. Wait, guys. So what is the time? End time?
Hello. 11.
Okay. Very good. So this is the way it has displayed. Now we will go for padding. Padding is nothing but to overcome this problem, this overlapping problem, we will go for padding. This padding specifies the space between the border and the text. Border and the text. Can you tell where did you use this padding previously? Padding.
Tables.
Very good. Cell padding, cell spacing you learn. So cell pad is nothing but space between the text and the border. So that same thing will be applied. So for this border, I will go for common border. So this border, border radius is 100 pixel. Just I have removed the thickness and I have applied for 4 sides. Next I want to give the space. So padding, and again which contain 4 values. Top value, right, next top right,
Left bottom.
bottom left. This is the order if you give 4 values. If I give 3 values, right side will property will space will be applied for left side. If I give like this, top and bottom same, right and left same. If I give 1 value, see padding with 30 pixel. So can you tell how it displays? So padding with 30 pixel, 40 pixel. Padding with 30 pixel, 40 pixel, 50 pixel and 60 pixel. This is 50, and the padding with 30 pixel, 40. Don't write this all for one. Okay, just I will tell you the difference between these all. So for this one, what is the output?
Top and bottom 30 pixel. Top and bottom 30 pixel.
4 sides 30 pixel. What about this one?
2 sides 30 pixel and 2 sides. Another 2 sides 40 pixel.
Which side is 30 pixel? Which side is 40 pixel?
Top and bottom 30.
Top and bottom. Very good. Top and bottom 30. Right and left
40.
40. What about this one?
Top 30, bottom 50, right and left 40.
Very good. Top 30, left, right 40, bottom
50.
50. And what about left? 40.
40.
Very good. So what about this? So these 4 sides, 4 different ways. So among that, I will use this third type. Fourth type. If I write fourth one, then you can find 4 sides. Okay. I will refresh this one. See here, top side 30 and left side 40 and bottom side 50 and left side 60. So is there any overlapping problem?
No.
No, sir.
No overlapping. So if you want to give the all things to your web page, what is your first requirement? You need to give margins. Okay, margins. Every web page contain one margin. Next, this border based on your requirement. You can display the border or you can none the border. None is nothing but no need to display, but margins will apply. And next one, third one. What is the third thing? Padding. Okay. So if you develop any web page, these 3 are the common things. These 3 are the common things you need to write, and better to include this all in universal selector. If you write universal selector and if it is right in external CSS, then it will be applied for every web page in your website. Okay. So if you learn these type of things, then you understand the implementation very easily. So what was today's class? Borders has completed, and borders with 4 things. These are the border styles, and these all are examples. Border color, to change the border color and to increase the border width has completed or not. I have increased the border width by using border width property. And this is the example we have seen. This is the given example, and I have given for right side and left side. These are the 5 different properties for border. And padding also completed. padding left, padding right, padding top, padding bottom. So why do we go for these 4? What is the purpose of these 4? Padding left, padding right, padding top, padding bottom.
Space between.
Yes. What is here? We have padding, but even we are going for this one. Why?
To control the overlap.
Okay, guys. But if you want to give to only particular side, okay. So why do I need to go for this one? Just I can use this one attribute and I can apply. I want to apply only for left side. I don't want to apply for top side, right side, and bottom side. Then you go for padding left. Okay, padding right is nothing but to assign property only for right side. You go for padding right, and padding top, it will apply only top side. Padding bottom, it will apply only bottom side. Did you get the difference? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So these are the paddings. And next one. Where is our PPT? So border style CSS and these all borders completed. Overflows. So overflow not yet completed. Okay guys, if you have any doubts, you can ask from this. Okay, next class we will go for new things. One is overflow and next one is positions. Okay, do you have any doubts from this class or previous class?
No, sir.
No doubts?
Sir, send recorded classes, no, sir. Recorded classes.
I didn't get you guys.
Recorded class of today, sir.
Yes, I will share. I will share in Canvas.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, I will share it in Canvas. Don't worry. Any more doubts from today's class?
No, sir.
Okay.
Sir, when you will say unit 1 and unit 2, sir?
Unit 1, unit 2. See, after completion of this 4th and 5th unit, we will go back to 2nd unit. So that is different things, and we'll show you the syllabus. PTT 4. See, now we have completed. See this first part, operating systems. And if you want to know this visualization editors, you need to see. And this visual editor, these all were depending on the 2nd unit. Shell commands. You will learn one shell command programs. And if you want to know this one, you should install Ubuntu software. So that's why we are giving priority to learn this one at the end of this course. Okay, and GitHubs. So you need to control your GitHub. GitHub is nothing but resources. Okay. So which is like a Google Drive. Do you know Google Drives? So that
Yes, sir.
same way you have GitHubs. These GitHubs will play an important role for developing applications. So we will learn these concepts at the end, and next one, these all will learn in the end. And next, this one is completed. Elements and attribute, heading tag, font tag, color tags, and other formattings. Means form tag I said, and images, links, tables, list, and div. So this div tag is for combining multiple. So I will tell you this one right now. And color, so CSS colors. So can we change the text colors or not? We can change
Yes,
the
sir.
text color, font and border color, everything you can change using colors. And fonts also will learn. And background, did you attach background or not?
Yes, sir.
Background as color, background as image. Background will stop the repetition and increase the image size and fit into your web page, enter web page. These all things we have learned. And padding, today's class we have learned. Yes or no? Did you learn these things in today's class or not?
Yes, sir.
Next class we will go for position and overflows. Position and overflows. Along with that, CSS advanced text effects. Next, web fonts and animations and transitions. These are very interactive. So we can do animations and transitions. We will learn these two independently, and we will combine these two and will develop one simple animation application. And responsive. Once this is completed, then we will go for XML. This one, next JavaScript. Next we will go for second unit. Okay, second unit means we will start from here and we will continue this on. Okay. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So do you have this copy?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
sir.
Already
Canvas
I
it is
have
there,
given
sir.
in Canvas. You can find this one in Canvas also. Syllabus. When you open your Canvas, you immediately see syllabus. At the left corner, you can find syllabus. This everything will available. Okay, and at the end of the day, we will write one HTML application. So I will show you one thing. Can you implement that? So try to do that one. So here, see, previously my previous students have done that project. So if you know another concept, then you will implement another thing. See, where is this website? See, this is one application. Okay, so every page will start from home page. So this is one home page. Okay, so when I click on this deposit, I can see this deposit web page. Okay, when I click on this debit, you can see this one. And new registration, this page will display. Balance inquiry, this one. And account transfer, this one. And profile, this one. If you want to see anyone's profile, then you type that and you can submit. This is the actual code for collecting the what is this profile information, but it is not running in the server. That's why it has not displayed. So can you implement such kind of web pages?
Yes,
So
sir.
what it contain, can you tell?
Sir, we have to connect it with server also, sir.
Yes, you can connect it also server, but in our course you do not have that one. Server is nothing but local servers. We have different local servers. So for that servers, you can implement this one. Okay, but can you develop such kind of simple application using this HTML?
Yes, sir.
So here, this is one page. Okay, how many pages you have? Deposit page, debit page, new registration, balance inquiry, account transfer, profile, like that you have. And these all are different pages. So when I click on this, you can see this one. And one thing you find from this, what are the common things you are observing? This border, left side border. So margins. So margins, which side I have applied? Did I apply 4 sides, only 2 sides, or 1 side?
2 sides.
So left
Left
side,
and right.
right. Top side, no margins. No padding also I have given. And did I give any border? Is this web page contain any border?
No, sir.
No borders. Okay. And this is the text actually which is developed with another field set concept, but the field set is not available. But at last, can you do this kind of page or not? So these are all the different pages. Like that, you need to see one web application, try to implement this one. Okay, if it is run in a particular server, then you can see these all responses. One day I will show this everything, this project, entire project I will show you. Okay, so can you write this thing?
Yes,
So what are these? These all are? Hello,
second.
what are these 3?
Text type.
Text size. These all are labels. This is submit button. So when I click on submit button, it is working. Okay, but going to this program, but this program is not present. So it is present only, but which is not running on the local machine server. So that's why it is giving code as it is. But this will work, working code. Okay. So at the end of this semester, means at the end of this subject, you can develop such kind of simple web applications. Only foreground applications, means front page you can design, but if you want to develop some other, then you need to learn server side scriptings also. Okay, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right guys. So we can meet in the next class.
Thank you, sir.
Bye students.